My name is Maureen Patton. I am born and raised in Galveston. I am very proud to be receiving the Legacy Award. My feeling is that the real legacy that you need to be celebrating is the Grand 1894 Opera House. Now there's a legacy for you. You know, how I got to the Opera House is always kind of a fascinating story because it never occurred to me that I would be here. So when my husband was offered the job at Galveston College, we moved here, having been in other places where he was a choral director. I was a voice teacher. I produced opera workshop productions. I actually ended up working for Galveston College as well and producing those same kinds of things. And I was very much a part of the Arts Council and was on the board and worked to sell seats in this opera house when they were starting the restoration. The head of the organization changed, and it was someone I knew. And she accepted the job, and she said, I can raise money and I can help get this organization stable, but I do not know my way around the Opera House or the Art Center, and so I would need to hire a person to run those two pieces of the organization. One night, my husband said to me, while we were just sitting in the den, he said, well, what is Jan doing about that job? And I said, I have no idea. And he said, that's the job for you. And I said, for me? In my first 6 months of working, I had over something like 600 hours of comp time, which of course I never got. Because of course it wasn't a part-time job. It's not a full-time job. It's a life work. And that was the beginning of this many, many years journey. There are a lot of memories of being so proud of what this theater stands for and what difference it's made in our community. The fact that we could get artists of real note made a huge difference because people said, oh my word, we can go see Ray Charles at the theater. We can go see the Gatlin Brothers. I think the Grand brought the cultural life in many respects back to Galveston. We had a civic music association which started that going, and all of a sudden people did not have to go to Houston to see a major artist or a dance company or the symphony or whatever. And our Galveston Symphony started not long after I did. There were people who were just determined that they were going to get a local symphony. And by golly, they did, and it has thrived. I could not have done this without my husband's support because heaven knows, he didn't see a lot of me a lot of the time. Our daughters grew up being part of this and loving every moment. And now I've got grandchildren, all of whom have performed on this stage. That's a legacy that you just can't even begin to say enough about. So I thank Galveston Daily News for this honor from my good friends, and it's wonderful to have a hometown newspaper that still really values its hometown.